How's it going, everyone? Vince here with On to the Next podcast. This is episode 25, and I have my friend Nancy on. She's going to talk about how being resilient and joyful through her life has carried her. I enjoyed this episode, and I hope you do too. This is On to the Next.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my cloth, they tugging it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my cloth, they tugging it.
Nancy Martz, I am so excited to have you on today because I've known you for a while. In and out, we have one of our like friends that was our close friends, our neighbors, and you happen to be their mother. And I'm so glad that I met you because um, now that I see what you're doing, it's like I always look at people like you as, you're still doing stuff that is helping other people, and that's what this podcast is about, helping either ourselves or other people move on to their next. So Nancy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing sensational. I mean, God is just so good. And I'm 73 and I don't feel anywhere near 73 because my daughter in law says that I run circles around her. And I probably do because I just have the spirit of Jesus in me. And when you have that, man, and you're following Christ, you have it all. That's for sure. So, um, I kind of started out. Well, my dad was a doctor. I don't know if you knew that, Vince, but my
I
dad was a
I
doctor,
didn't.
and he's home with Jesus. Mama and Daddy are home with Jesus, and it would be interesting to see how he felt about the medical world right now. But I know some of my views have kind of changed. But um, I went into being an interpreter for the deaf for, I don't know if you knew that, but for 12 years I was a one on one educational interpreter. So I did that with a student, and it was the gift of a lifetime for me. People thought it was for her, but it really was a gift for me. And then I decided that I was the only one of my brothers and sister. I have a sister and a brother that didn't have their college education. So I went back to get my degree in Colorado at Colorado Christian University. Loved it.
Yeah.
Um, by the time I finished there, I had 9 transcripts from different places. I'd been trying to finish my early childhood degree. So I did early childhood, and I loved that. I love the little people. I did third grade science, but I really liked the preschool pre-kindergartner. So I did that, but as you know, teachers don't make very much money. And plus, I have 11 grandchildren now, 6 beautiful grandchildren that are adopted. And we love all 11 of them. They're fantastic. But David is 73. My husband's 73 too. I don't know if you knew that, but he's not retired. He works full
Yeah.
time. So I didn't want to be on my feet and do retail, but I wanted to do something. I'm used to going and doing. And so a friend of mine that I had been following for a long time had gotten quite large. She had gotten very unhealthy large. And she introduced me to a company. And I thought, oh, well, I'll kind of look into that. I was having um, some terrible, I had had surgery for severe diverticulitis. And so I lost a lot of weight at that time. But not as much as now. Um, but I was having severe gut pain, like level 3, like when you're in labor, blowing gut pain. And I went to the gastroenterologist, and he kind of threw up his hands eventually after he did colonoscopy, endoscopy, up, down, everywhere. And he said, I don't know what to do for you. And so this friend kind of introduced me to our company, which is called Trenant. It's French, Trenant, which means healthy living. And I love French, the language of French. So I was kind of keyed in on that. But she told me about this product that she said, Nancy, if you don't have good gut health, you're in big trouble. And I said, well, I'm already in big trouble because the doctor threw up his hand and said he didn't know what to do for me. And I was having episodes all the time. Mostly, I would have more of them, believe it or not, up in the mountains. We don't know why.
Hmm.
Nobody seemed to know why, but the altitude or whatever. But I started taking it. I thought, what do I have to lose? So I started doing that, and about 2 weeks, I noticed, I'm not having them as often. And by about a month, I wasn't having them at all. And I couldn't believe it. And I started dropping some more weight, which I was at 165 pounds, which for somebody that's 5'2", that's a lot of weight. I didn't want to have, knee trouble or all that stuff. So I investigated and thought, wait a minute, this company's really helping people and they love the Lord. That really brought me into it because my high up line person and her husband are, they're Jesus followers, Vince, and they just lead all of us with their love for Jesus and wanting to help people. And I thought, that's me. I love to help people. I love to give. God gave me the gift of giving. So if I can give samples or whatever, I do that, or gifts or whatever. So that's kind of been my journey to getting here. My first main goal was not my gut health. It was, maybe I could retire David.
Yeah.
Maybe he and I could retire. I'm already retired, but maybe I could retire him. But once I saw that my gut health was that pain was gone, I couldn't believe it. So there's other products that, of course, I use, and now David's trying to get rid of his dad belly because he knows that God doesn't want him to have that pressure on his heart. And when you get that dad belly, that pressure, it comes up on your heart. And so he also joined Trinant. So it's just been fun. The community in this company is like I've never seen before. When I was with teachers, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Teachers are very territorial. They want their own space, their own classroom, and I'm always out there. I'm always like, what can I do to help you? What can I love? How can I love on you? And it's that way with this company. And I just came back from Nashville in June, where our upline, the people I was telling you about before, they put on for all of us this huge event as a gift to our team, which is 11,000 of us. And they put it on just outside of Nashville. And I met women that I had only seen on Facebook. And everybody complains about Facebook, but I'll tell you, I have met some godly, wonderful new friends from Facebook and from these events. So I can't say enough about what a family it is. And I have a family, obviously, but at my age, these young people that are in it, they just envelop me like they don't even look at me as, oh, that's a grandma. And
Yeah.
we have some other grandmas. We have an 80-year-old lady that just turned 80 last year. That's in the company too, and you'd never know it. And everybody just treats everybody the same. It's just so God driven, Vince. I can't even explain to you how loving the company is. No competition. Everybody's there to help everybody else out. And that's the only reason, that's the one thing that was, one of the many things that drew me into it. Because I've done network marketing before, and it was never like that. And because it's God centered, that was huge for me.
Yeah, and so just that, I'll get the link from you of how to get in contact with you. I'll put it up by your name. That way people could get in touch with you if they're looking for something like this. But I think it's really important to kind of go back and kind of what centered you, like your walk with God, and how that really started for you. I mean, was that really as young, or how like what did that look like for you? Because that's a huge part. Like I talk about that a lot on on this podcast about how we align in three ways. How we align um, three of the ways that you're talking. Like it's your mental, it's your physical, and it's your spiritual. And that's why it's so cool to hear about your company, that they kind of have all that three alignment. And so when did that journey start for you though, like as just young Nancy, as a believer, and really this is where my life is going to take me, this is God's going to take me on this path?
Well, that's funny because my grandfather was a Methodist minister.
Oh.
And everybody called him Singing Sid. And he always rolled his R's when he sang. It was so cute. But, our family went to church every Sunday. We were Presbyterian, we weren't Methodist. We went to the Presbyterian church, even though my mother was raised, with a Methodist pastor father. But my dad, being a doctor, he went, but he wasn't a believer. He just went because that's what you did back then. And I went to youth group and the whole 9 yards. But my grandpa, Singing Sid, Grandpa Stringham, he said to me one time, he said, Nancy, and I don't know how old I was, but I wasn't a teenager yet. Um, he says, until you love yourself, um, I'm sorry, let me back that. Till you love Jesus, you can't love yourself, let alone anybody else. And I thought, because I was young, I thought, well, I like Jesus. He's okay. He's a good guy. But I had no clue. And then I got married and I had two children. We kind of fast forwarded a little bit. And I was going to Bible study fellowship. And my husband had decided to leave and have an affair with the secretary. So I was in Bible study fellowship, and of course, they were talking about the Lord. And I had what I call a lightning bolt experience. I'll never forget where I was. I was at a stop sign in my neighborhood. My car stopped. It seemed like forever. And right then and there, I knew I had to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior.
Mm.
And it was like God was like, okay, we're stopping right here and we're doing this right now. And I'll never forget, I thought, oh my gosh, I wish I could get on the rooftops and just tell everybody. I just shouted from the rooftops. Well, that was interesting because Satan wasn't very happy about that. The evil one descended upon me because I was alone at that time because my husband had left, and with two little children. And he did all kinds of things, creepy, scary things. A neighbor I was having problems with, things in the house would go off. And when my soon to be ex husband would come over, there would be evilness. I mean,
Mm.
and I was this little bitty, you know, fetus of a Christian. And I went to a gal I trusted a lot at BSF and said, what is going on? And she said, okay, let me explain. And she explained to me about how the evil one wasn't very happy that I had accepted Christ into my life, but my soon to be ex husband hadn't. So he was using him and things in the house to try and scare me. And so she told me how to denounce in the name and the blood of Jesus Christ. and I did, and that was a big turnaround. Um, then I met my husband now on a blind date, and he really didn't know the Lord, and I was like, oh, this I don't know how this is going to work out. But we dated for a little bit. I probably wouldn't recommend that for anybody on your podcast that you don't ever want to be unequally yoked. But on one of our early dates, he said to me, "You have something I don't have," and I was like, "Okay, what's that?" And he said, "You have Jesus, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I want that too." And so we went, into, him exploring and coming to Jesus. Now, interesting enough, I never felt like, because I was never taught in the Presbyterian church that I needed to be fully immersed baptized. So I never had been until we moved to Colorado. And the Holy Spirit really convicted me that I needed, even though I had accepted Christ, years before, that I needed to do that. So the little church that we were going into before we went to Flatirons in Colorado, he baptized me there, and then we started going to Flatirons in Colorado, and I don't. Did you go to Flatirons? I can't remember. Did you guys?
I visited a few times, but yeah, wonderful church.
Yeah, well, they do a thing where they say, today's baptism, and even if you weren't prepared, but the Holy Spirit's leading you, and next thing I know, David gets up and walks out of the church. He's all dressed. It was like, I don't know if it was Easter. It was a holiday because he was really dressed up. He was dressed up, and he goes down there and gets baptized and soaked and just I was like, whoa, that's so awesome. So that's been our journey. Now, was have we always been on the mountains? With our relationship, and he struggles more with it than I do because I don't know why. I think men have a harder time because I know his question a lot, and he has said this to Pastor Jim is, "Am I good enough?" And he's trying to work on, you know, because I think men wonder a lot: Are they good enough? Are they good enough for the job? Are they good enough for their family? Are they good enough for God? I mean, does he really, really? And see, I've never thought any of those thoughts when I accepted him, even before I was baptized in the water. Um, I always, I always knew he loved me and forgave me, and he took away awful memories from my past. I mean, it just is such a different walk for me. And because of my extrovert personality, I love everybody. I love my ex husband and his wife, and I mean,
Yeah.
because you can't love Jesus and just hate people. That's scriptural. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. That is so true, and, it's so true even what you say about David that I there's been times because I think, as men, we're thinking we're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to be, head of our household. And when we fail sometimes, because we do fail, and that's just life. Life, we have failures. Probably more failures than successes, but it's like those moments is when, like you're saying, when the devil tries to attack us at our weakest points, and it's like, now I got him, but I'm sure he thanks God that he has you in his life a lot, because it's like, oh, you're probably always a reminder to him, like, you are good enough. God has put you in this position for a reason. And so yeah, that's and it kind of goes on to what even you're doing now, because there's a lot of reassurance in people when they're trying to get their health on track, when they're trying to get their physical. I mean, because like I said, that's like three parts of this podcast that I said. It's your mental, your spiritual, probably your spiritual most, mental, and your physical. but that's a huge part of it. And when you were at a point where you had questions about your physical, you were able to take and not only taking care of yourself, you're like, well, I want to do this to let other people know. So I think that's an amazing part of what you're doing, and it's kind of a testament to what you have. And that's like I said, Nancy, that's why I wanted you on this podcast, because I think it's kind of an inspiration, because I think we put these numbers in our heads of age, of what expectations of what. And I always think of, like, even a lot of great leaders who taken like leadership in like into later years of their lives, because they're like, I still have a lot, whether it be by God or what is still in me, to put out into the world. And it's so much what I appreciate about what you're doing. So um so the company you're with, you've had a lot of opportunity, right? Of taking what you have, like your past of your walk with God and everything. You've had an opportunity, and there's not like a restriction of like talking about that at all, and taking that for you. Um Talk more, a little bit more about that. I know you already have, but kind of give us a of how it's taken you from your point now to, like, even thinking, "Man, I'm gonna be there so much more for my grandkids, for my family, to help them."
Well, it's interesting because when I went to Nashville, my oldest son Neil, and I don't know if you met Neil when you lived
I
in
don't
Pacific. Yeah, he thinks he's the boss because he's the oldest child, you know. But he texted me when I was in Nashville, and he said, "Mom, I'm so proud of you. You are," because he's a godly man. He's bossy man, but he's a godly man, and I just love him to pieces. But he said, "Mom, I'm just so proud of you of what you're doing, and that you're out there helping people, and trying to help you and Dad's finances, because the financial part, there's no two ways about it, is a big part of it too. Um, and the company owners are right there with us. If we're praying, they pray with us. If we're having an after party in Vegas, we have our training, and this year the party theme is Roaring Twenties. So I already have my dress. But I like, and this is a part of who I am in Christ. I always take to those events gifts, and I hand them out. Now, one of the things that our company does is your first rank. If you make your first rank, you are eligible for a Jeep stipend. And I made that way back last year, about this time last year. And so I have a Jeep Wrangler, which my kids think is hilarious that Grandma has a Jeep Wrangler, but I love it. And so they're making it so that you can be successful right from the very beginning, because not only does the company plan on 2030 to have, their goal is to have 3 billion lives for good. They want that's their goal, and that's an amazing thing for a company to say and to want to make other people healthy, because there are other products out there. We know that, Um, our daily health system won an award because it's replaced what those nasty shots do for people. And I had to be on those shots because I'm diabetic. I had to be on them. Never lost an ounce of weight, but I think that's what caused a lot of my gut problem. So I, went off of that. But it's when we all see each other, it's we're not just, oh hi, like other places, or if you go into a company, you're like, oh hello, in the next few, we're all like, missed you so much, we're hugging, and that that's all the Lord. That is all the Lord, because you do not find that other places. And it's interesting because some of the speakers they bring are not Jesus followers, they're from another faith. And the goal is for some of us to maybe show them that there is a better way, there is the truth and the light.
Yeah.
But we don't exclude them because they're from another faith. You know what I mean? I think there are associates, that's what we're called, that they were like on the fence with the Lord, and maybe like they thought, kind of like I did when I was younger, like, oh yeah, he's a great guy, but but now they're using when they're using his name and prayer um, all the time too. And I love seeing that because I've seen my upline who I signed up under. I never heard her in the years that I've known her. And now she's getting closer and closer and closer. And she has 3 boys that hopefully she's bringing closer and closer to the Lord. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just so cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you've contacted us before, and I'm like, I'm not ignoring you, Nancy. I
I know,
promise you.
I know.
And because I think it is amazing, and that's why I wanted to start off by having you on this podcast because it's something that me and Bree, my wife, my wonderful wife,
I know.
that
I miss her so much.
I
I
know.
miss you, Bree.
But yeah, it's something that like I really feel like it would be beneficial for the both of us. And just hearing where the company's at, it even motivates me even more to say yeah, there's probably a lot of things that, and that's why I will put up like uh a banner right below your name or right below yourself to kind of it because um I think it's things like these because there are places where everybody needs help to get to their next point in life. And for you it was like, oh my goodness, I am I just going to deal with this the rest of my life, your gut health, or how am I going to get through this? And that's an awesome testimonial. Like I mean, I'm sure that's been a big boost for you and your productivity and your success because you're a testament of the product. So it's totally awesome that it turns out to be that way because sometimes it's something I'm taking, but you're actually a true testament to the product.
Yeah. Well, and we have two kind of collagens. David uses the bovine collagen, and I use the marine tripeptide. And I wish I had started using it way earlier, like even at a young girl's age, because I just didn't know. And yeah, do I have wrinkles? Yeah, because I lost a lot of weight and I'm older. But when I went and got a facial not too long ago, my gals, and she and I are friends because I don't see anybody that's not my friend, but she works at the Marriott in here in Phoenix. And she said, "What are you doing to your skin?" And I said, "Oh, you know me. I just put some, moisture on it." And she goes, "No, no, no, you're doing something else." And I said, "Well, I have started collagen." And she goes, "That's what it is." Because it's so dry here. I mean, today it's going to be 117.
Oh,
117. And I know it sounds crazy, but I love it because I'm either in the air conditioning out in the pool. It's just going in and out of your car that's bad. But she said, "Your skin is not dry. It is so nice. My hair, these little hair things right here, my hair is growing. My nails these are my nails." And, I love it. And then he loves the bovine. So he takes the bovine glow. My hands, my skin has gotten really thin. And you can see if I hit anywhere, this is what happens.
yeah.
We have a cream that I had never started using, but it's called Restore. I mean, and this was all over this hand because I had dropped my phone between the seats, and if I hit anything, because my skin is so thin, because of my heart, I have to take a baby aspirin, and it was all this color. And for in a week, it's back to doing much better, much better. So I do show that too. Um, we have a product called Transform that I take that and two of the enriched before every lunch and before dinner. Because Transform is for your blood sugar, whether you're diabetic or not. It regulates your blood sugar, and it's amazing. I mean, I could go on and on and on because we just got so many great things. But the bottom line is that nowadays, with the way the medical and health system is that we almost have to. I never thought before when Daddy was a doctor, and that was just supplements were just not something you talked about. It
Yeah.
just wasn't. It wasn't really around. I mean, you know, and now we really need to be supplementing because of, there's so much bad stuff in food and drinks and stuff like that. So supplements are really, really important to have for us now and this stage of life. Not my stage of life, just as the world, what the world's going on. Because the medical system is not the way it was when Daddy was a doctor. My dad left in the middle of a tornado to, this was when he was a GP, and deliver a baby.
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, where are you going, Daddy? And he's like, I have to go deliver a baby. Now it's like if you're not on the concierge or whatever.
I know it. You have to be on the VIP list.
I know. And it's just like, really?
Yeah. Well, I absolutely think it's amazing. I'm totally sold. I have been following you, and like I said, that's why I wanted you to come on the podcast because I am starting to grow a little following in on the podcast, and I love to have people who are doing great things to let them know what they're actually doing. And I believe um you say you're 73 and this is you still really believe in what you're doing. And a lot of people start saying, well, I'm just going to stop right now and just I'll enjoy my life, but I see you enjoying your life as helping other people. And it's not so much, you are definitely helping yourself because there is a huge financial benefit to what you're doing, but you're helping a lot of people get to their next point in life, help them with their physical and health. So I think it's amazing, Nancy. Um like I said, I kept an eye on I'm always keeping an eye on, like, who would be a great, um, asset, not only to this podcast, but for everybody else listening. And I believe that's you're one of those people.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
I know you guys love the Lord, and when you asked me, I was just like, oh, I'm all in. Of course, they're like longtime friends. I mean, we love you even though we don't get to see you guys that often, and we keep in touch with what's going on with the kids, your kids, and I can't believe that Roman's going to be a freshman, and I can
I
remember
know.
Christian throwing the football with him, but he joined the golf team instead. He's not doing football; he joined the golf team.
Well, good for him. Um, I probably would have had CJ Christian join the golf team earlier if I would have known. A torn labrum later, couple concussions. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe we should but yeah, it's but such a blessing. I know you have a beautiful family, and Nancy, just thanks so much for being a part of this because like I said, I'm gonna put so if people are watching this, they're gonna be able to um see your connection to you to like get involved with the product. And me and Bree are definitely gonna look at some of the product that you have to help us because there's areas that I know Bree was like, I need to do this. So I'm sure she'll be calling you soon to have a chat with you.
That'd be great. I miss her.
Yes.
I keep wanting to come down to Florida so we can hang out, and it just hasn't worked out yet. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure your kids will be like, hey, you're over here.
yeah,
That's probably most of it, right?
kind
Yeah.
of.
They're like, hey, over here first.
Yeah.
So but amazing. Tell David I said thank you for sharing you for about a half an hour or so. So
He's
um
over there working away. He's in his office. He works from home, so he's
oh
working away. God bless him. Yeah, he works every day. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you were on, and thank you so much.
okay, thank you so much. God
All right.
bless and have a great day. Give the
God,
love to the family.
yes, God bless to you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Play, 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 play. Put on